When we starts questioning processes, natural and supernatural phenomenons and mechanisms of nature and its elements and beyond its grace, we mainly trying to find two major questions, cause and reason. Over the time period, people tried to unfold this with their explanations and even dogmas. One was myth. Myth tried to give people an explanation for something they could not understand. It was the first kind of explanation came into people to explain working of nature and processes. But people couldn't stop thinking and settle with it. They tried to find something more reasonable explanations and more accepted to the reality and more open to discourse with least suppressing to their curiosity. Philosophy deals with more reason, logic, and evidence to explore fundamental questions about existence, knowledge, and values. In this session, we would discuss a chronology of philosophy. We would skip eras quickly, so my apologies to the thinkers if skipped or not given enough mentions. We would be talking about Western philosophy, which tends to prioritize individualism, analytical reasoning, and the pursuit of objective truths. Let's start. It mainly roots to Greece. Thales was the first to break mythology's conception to explain nature and believed everything comes from water and ends in it. Xenophanes believes men have created the gods in their own image. Gods were born and have bodies and clothes and language as we have. Anaximander think of the our world as one of the myriad of world that evolve and dissolve in something he called boundless. After this rationalist came to being who believe human reason is the prime source of our knowledge of our world. Parmenides was among first to use it. He said everything that exists had always existed and said nature is in a constant state of flux. He perceived with his senses that things changed, but he could not equate this with his reason. Heraclitus went further to said that flow is the basic characteristic of nature, and everything is in constant flux and movement, so nothing is abiding. When we step in river twice, neither the water nor us remain the same. Empedocles assimilate too by saying we need to use senses, and the source of nature can be divided into two force, love and strife. One binds and one separates. He also believed nature consists of four elements: earth, fire, water, and air. He distinguishes between substance and force. We see what we perceives. Anaxagoras though held that nature is built up of an infinite number of minute particles invisible to the eyes. He was an astronomer too. He though couldn't named it, which is done by Democritus, namely, atoms. He believed everything is made of eternal and immutable atoms, and believed there is no soul or force interfere natural processes. The only thing that existed and be believed were atoms and voids. Thus we finds people who deal with material things, and hence we call him a materialist. With nature and phenomenon, philosophy made into political events and health. They tried to give natural explanation for the course of history. When country lost war, vengeance of God was no longer an acceptable explanation to them. Also sickness was tried to be explained from natural phenomenon, rather than God's rage. Hippocrates said key to safeguard against sickness is moderation and healthy lifestyle with harmony, physical, mental balance. This was all about pre-Socrates philosopher. They are also termed as natural philosophers, deals with nature by trying to connect every phenomenons involving through nature's eyes. Next session would be from Socrates and his time. We would roam further in Europe after Greece losing its importance. Hope the listeners get a general notion about philosophers from the ancient ages and their way of thinking. Thanks for your time. We would meet again.